If you wanna be my friend, you would better go and get a pen. Maybe we can keep in touch like they did in the old days that wasn't so long ago. And I wish you well.
I love that you're like, all right, I guess we're not doing it.
I love it. That is the sound of somebody dying, though. Just pain.
Yeah.
Just pain.
Folks, we're at the end of August.
Yeah.
Daniel and I are 43 years old.
That's the rumor.
And now we know that also so is, well, I don't know. Has he been on yet?
Nope.
Yeah, well, future friends are probably also turning
Knowing
43.
things. And if you're listening backward, you know.
And if you're listening backward, you know that Rachel is now 43. Rach.
That's right.
Happy 43rd.
What?
I should have said it last week.
She wrote in last week.
Said it last week. We're now 43.
Oh, I get all turned around.
I can't believe I remembered it, and I wonder if partially that's because maybe we recorded it today, Rachel.
That song, You Spin Me Right Round.
You spin me right.
What does
we're
that
gonna get
mean?
sued. It's
Like I was having a bad day, and now I'm having a good day because of you. I thought things were going great, and now they are.
no.
You
It's
turned
one of
me
those.
on.
It's one of those rides at a playground where you puke.
You make me dizzy.
Yeah.
I think it's like you
me
make my
Dreams come true.
like you make my world move, like go.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
Like that's how
That's how I think you're right.
gravitational pull.
Yeah.
You gonna
you keep things going.
You put me on my axis, baby.
Or maybe that's totally wrong, and instead it's like you give me a fucking headache. Like
you spin.
But it's definitely one of those two ends of the spectrum.
absolutely.
like a record, baby.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Although broken
Right.
record.
Right.
All I know is
man, I
that
don't
to
know.
me, you look like you're lots of fun. Open
Oh,
up your
then it's
loving
good.
arms. Watch out, here I come.
Yeah.
You spin.
So
me right
forget
round.
everything I just said.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got there? Is that a little
Hey,
something?
oh yeah. Well, it was sent to us. Should we do it on the other side and we'll take a break right now, or do it and then take the break?
Let's take a break. We'll be right back, folks, after these messages.
And we're back.
And here we are.
Huh. But wait, does that mean we have to say it then?
Not yet.
We're not going yet.
Well,
Are we?
But we are going to a package.
Right.
Let's go to the package.
The fact that we knew
Careful,
in my
careful,
family,
careful.
in my family, they say rip and tear, rip and tear.
And you know what? They're right.
Okay.
Everything else they do when they get cards and stuff is wrong.
Man, this is going to be a healthy debate. We got sent some artwork.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
Slide
I don't know if
slide
it came with a letter. If it did, forgive me, or this was the letter. Maybe we read the letter, but I can't imagine we would have read the letter. Look at this.
It is so good.
We got multiple copies of this.
I love the thickness of this paper.
Yeah, it's a good stock.
It is good stock.
Okay. Look at it, Rory. Show everybody. This was sent in by Alex M. This is their letter. Right?
Too close. Back it up. A little more.
Come on, Scorsese. Get it right. What are you doing that for?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just holding
I can see through the stock.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. It says, Dear Daniel and Rory, and then that's crossed out, and it says Rory and Daniel. What is wrong with you?
Let's to this camera try to get it do this.
Do what? Oh. Hold on. Well, we'd have to switch, right?
Nope. I'm on this side. And I do have a mustache. Like, is that no, other hand. Your left hand.
Yeah.
This is your right
Okay.
hand. Our arms need to be smeared together. And then I am touching your right shoulder.
Right. And I should go like this.
Will you move the mic out of the way, though? Yeah.
I just remember.
Wait, I almost had it.
When we did have it.
No, I didn't have the face.
Oh. I just remembered.
That's the clip.
I just remembered we're an audio show.
Oh yeah.
I just remembered that.
Do you know what?
For
That
the
brings
next-
up a good point. If there is anyone who thinks, man, they really do this shit to try and drive us to the Friday watch crew.
It's not intentional.
No!
but I hope we are, but it is not
It
intentional.
is not. It's not by
intentional.
design.
This is nice.
It says, "Dear Daniel and Rory," and then that's crossed out with red marker and Rory and Daniel.
Yeah.
And then the letter is happening, and you're yelling,
Yep.
"Clearly a typo, Daniel," and I'm yelling, "Rory." Now, Rory, what is your takeaway on this person's view of what the order should be?
They artistically have decided that they agree with me. Because if they didn't, you would have been correcting the letter.
But they're saying the way it should be is Daniel and Rory.
No.
They think that you disagree with that, because otherwise wouldn't they have written it Rory and Daniel and then I'm the one trying to change it from what it's supposed to be?
Exactly. They believe that I'm right, and that's why they decided to make something that showed that I'm right.
But
You know what I
you're
mean?
not, because it's Daniel and the person who wrote Daniel and Rory. You're
X,
the
but
person,
then it's
but you're-
crossed out.
by your character.
Right, but my character is represented by the artist. The artist chose that
To
I
write
would be
Daniel
right,
and Rory.
and they chose you to be the villain. Look, we both have mad eyebrows, so we're both angry.
Yeah.
But I am open mouth smiling, and you're mumbling, Rory, because your mouth is closed.
That's fair. I don't know.
But I do like that it does look like we are going up for I'm going up for a dunk. And
Yeah.
You're going up to block.
Yeah, and it's cool because you can't tell yet whether or not I'm gonna get posterized or
You can't
stop you.
tell.
Although you would
Same.
say you already posterized me,
Yeah.
quite literally, because you did write it. So I
Also-
walked into the room so late into you getting this done.
But even the bracelets being there,
I know.
I love it. This
I
is
love it
great.
too. And
Alex,
I'm wearing
this
purple
is great.
for Rochelle. All right, thanks, Alex, for sending that in. I just wanted to show a little love for some great pen pal stuff. And
little fan art.
yeah, people should reach out. It's at ALMAL the pal at AlMal pal. I
At
think I did
Almal
it.
Pal.
AlMal pal.
Love that.
Okay. All right, now do you want to really go?
Yep.
Great.
Let's go to the letters! I hope there's people who never watch.
Know what it is?
They never watch, and none of this will ever talk them into watching.
And they think we're opening a screen door and letting the letter walk in.
Hi, guys.
Like
Like
a little
it's-
dog. Like
Like
the
it's
Bill.
Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Or I'm just a letter.
Yeah. It's
I'm
me.
only a letter.
It's me, Larry the letter. Come on in, Larry. Me first?
Yes.
Hey, pals. Hope this letter finds you well. I think it has. It's found us. I have the feeling I'm outgrowing my friendship with my current roommate. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And now I added that. They didn't write that. A lot led to us growing apart. Her new boyfriend, me taking more time for myself, etc. She recently let me know that she wants to live on her own and keep our current apartment, which could probably be its own letter. I'm fine with moving out, but I'm feeling sad because we seem to be going in different directions and I no longer find myself wanting to reach out and spend time with her. Part of me feels like it may be my fault in some way. Like maybe I didn't make enough of an effort to maintain the friendship, but I also want to stay true to myself and not force anything. It might be time to just let her go. So, who are some friends you left behind? How did you decide who to hold on to and who to let go? Love you all and this podcast so much. Sophia.
Bing, ba-da-dee.
Bing, bong, bang, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bang. Before we get started, that Sophia is like sort of a lighter type. Do you think that's okay? Or if she wrote it, we can say it.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Bing, bong,
Bong, bing, 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 bing. Is this relatable to you? This is relatable
Sure.
to me in
I
some
think
ways.
it's,
It's
one
living with friends
of
is
my
difficult.
favorite lines from Stand By Me.
Every time a
I thought you were
Door opens, a window
I thought
closes.
you were going to go, look at that dead kid.
Look, there's a dead kid. Hi.
No.
Hi, I'm Kiefer Sutherland.
Hi, I'm Kiefer Sutherland, and that's a dead kid over there. Bam, bam, bam.
Is that not
Jackass,
from
it's
the
Jackass. Bam, bam, bam.
Wait, maybe I watched the wrong movie. I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen Stand By Me.
No, it happens sometimes. People come in and out of your life like bus boys in a restaurant. You knew it.
Yep. And that's the first time you said that on this show. Just so you know.
Ever?
Yep, ever.
Did I say it to Jerry?
You said so much to Jerry.
He was game.
There was no point.
Remember when
there was no part. He came in.
Remember when I told
you were going to say
that we
stuff
should
to him.
invite him to the escape room?
Yeah.
You were like, really?
I would invite him, and I'm
He would
still
have
willing.
so much
I'm willing to
fun.
invite him to future escape rooms. The only reason I didn't even reach out was because it was last minute, and he told us on the show how far away he lived.
Yeah.
Which also goes to show you how special that was of him to come here and do this show. Yeah. That was a drive. That was a drive, folks. Mm-hmm. Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, if you haven't shown him love, do, because we want people to come back. And if they're like, oh my God, all these people love me on that show, maybe they will.
I will say, and we've never said this before, but if you did enjoy any guests that we have ever had,
we've never said anything.
We have always had their Instagrams are out there. Like, it bodes well for them to know that you enjoyed it. So whether they read it or not, I couldn't tell you, but there's obviously DMs on Instagram and comments. If they post that they were on this show, comment that you enjoyed it.
Or even in our
a lot
post,
of them,
under it, you could tag them and be like, loved you at Jerry OC on this show. Like,
and I will say, the only reason I say to do that is because a lot of our guests, almost all of them, I can't say all of them to be quite honest, but a lot of them, I think, would gladly come back. And you saying how much you enjoyed them being on the show is certainly a nudge in that direction. And it bodes well for us. And also it gives you the thing you clearly liked again.
Yeah. Or if they were plugging something and you checked it out, that's a great way to go, hey, heard about your project on Pen Pals. Absolutely loved it. You were great on that episode. Anyway.
Right out of the gate, it's tough to live with people.
That's how you make friends. This is about how you get rid of them.
Yeah. Murder. It's tough to live with people. It is. And it is tough to live with friends. And I think people will know what I'm talking about. Friendships can be affected. I guarantee you we would not have the same friendship if we were roommates.
No.
I am not, and I know this now. I am not a good roommate. I am so particular about so many things that friends I have lived with, us living together, has affected our friendship while we were living together. And once we no longer live together, had a better friendship. And I will say, I'm not completely in the wrong, but I do now know as a mature adult, I was a big part of the problem of being someone who I am difficult to live with. I know it. There's no way. Ask my wife. Ask my kid. Ask my dog. I'm difficult to live with.
But when you were younger, did you feel like they were?
Yes. I always thought it was someone else's fault and how it's so easy. But now I look back and I realize I was so dumb about stupid shit. Granted, wanting a place to be clean and people keeping it clean, that's not
fair.
That's where I go. That's middle ground. I would never keep it dirty. Why would you keep it dirty? But also expecting someone, for an example, and this isn't specific, but I would also be like, hey guys, let's clean the apartment. And it's absurd to think that everyone needs to operate on my schedule. You know what I mean? Being like, well, I'm going to clean it. And I guess you're not going to help. And it's like, yeah, maybe I'll do it later. It's like, but I couldn't perceive that.
Yeah. I'm ready right now, Jack.
Yeah. So I would say I can, I can see that being, I think there's two versions of this. One, you moving out and getting a new place might actually rekindle the relationship. It really could.
Good.
It really could.
Yeah.
Also, when new romances start for people, I don't care who you are, they are wildly exciting and they take your attention and there's no way around it. And I don't fault anybody because I'm also guilty of it. I then maybe didn't make the same effort with friends. Speaking about her roommate here, I didn't make the same effort with friends because I was now dating someone and I wanted to spend all my time with that person and give them all my attention because it was new, it was exciting, it was a romance, it's all those things that make you feel good. So I've had friends actually say, hey, don't forget to focus on our relationship. I've had that.
Yeah.
I've had a confrontation like that. And I'm grateful that I had it because you kind of forget. So I do, to that end, forgive your roommate in that regard, that they have a new love interest. But I would say, ultimately, the potential downside is reality, and that is, like busboys, you're sometimes they just people come and go, and there's a spark when there's a spark, and then it goes away. That's true of all relationships, including family members. That can be true. Growing up with a cousin or an aunt or uncle or grandpa, whoever it might be, you might be like, oh man, when I was 10, we were fucking like this. And now you might be 25 and it's not that anymore. Yeah. And that's just life. That's just when.
And it's a little heartbreaking. It can be a little heartbreaking. And
it is heartbreaking.
I don't want to be
sure.
sound
but it is reality.
Condescending at all.
Yeah.
But I think it's just one of those things of growing up in life where you there's a time where you're just like, oh, I'm gonna like get broken up with. And other people are I'm gonna break up with people, and that's just kind of life up until hopefully a certain point.
Sure.
Or you can find happiness with just yourself too.
Yeah.
But like the other part of it is you start to realize like, oh, we were just friends because we worked together.
Yeah.
And I still like them. I think fondly of them, and they think fondly of me. There's no negativity. But
you're
to
in
it,
a space that
but
you
it kind of
had
ended.
to share.
And I think the older you get, and maybe the more our life moves a lot. It's moved literal places. It's moved in terms of chapters of what we are focusing on or working on.
Yeah.
Right? We could both end up that the next 15 years could be dominated way more by acting than stand-up, and the first 15 was the opposite.
Sure.
So
we
will operate with different types of people and schedules and stuff like that. So maybe we see it more, but I think that you can even get to a point where in real time, you start to go, oh yeah, we kind of haven't talked in 2 or 3 months. I think we're in the part where we really don't know each other. And you know that you could, feeling that, you could call them up and text and be like, let's go get something. Or you kind of just let it go a little bit, and it's okay.
Right, yeah.
And especially in our world, you could end up working on a project for that person for 6 months, and now you're hanging out.
Or years.
Yes, or you just never really, because certainly before Pound Cake, we were friends.
Yeah.
And after Pound Cake too, because there was a gap between Pound Cake and Pen Pals.
Yeah.
We were friends, but it was not crazy to go 8 months or maybe even a year without talking to each other.
No.
But if we saw each other, how's
it going?
Hug, and that's a different thing. But there's, I think, in other, people I worked with in Chicago, I'll say his name. There's a guy I worked with at the Reader. His name's TJ Anarino. I think he's one of the coolest fucking dudes. His band is one of my favorite bands I've ever gone to see. It should have been. Although the lead singer was awesome, deserved that billing. We did a couple times where I would come back and we'd meet up.
Yeah.
And now TJ and I haven't spoken in probably 4 years.
Yeah.
But if I'm in Chicago next weekend and TJ hits me up, I'll go meet up with him for a drink. But we're just kind of not.
It's just how
it's weird to say we're not friends, but I guess we just don't have a relationship.
You're just
anymore.
out of touch right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he's a friend or an enemy or an acquaintance.
He could call me right now and be like, hey, could you help me? And if I could help him out, I would do it.
Exactly.
Love that dude.
Yeah. And I think that's what maintains a friendship. But the titles of these things, like, you just kind of, it's just, people just come and go. And feelings come and go. Yeah. And you grow and you change.
Sometimes you do just grow. And it's not a negative, like something bad happened, but they're not really your kind of person anymore. Or maybe you're not theirs.
I'm so not who I used to be when I was in middle school. I'm not who I used to be when I was in high school. I'm not who I used to be when I was in college. And also all those people were not the same either. I'm not who I used to be when I started stand-up. I'm not who I used to be when I moved to New York City. I'm not who I used to be when I first moved to LA. I'm not who I used to be 5 years ago. And because of that, your timeline and your energy and your vibe and who you are and what you're into is going to shift. And I don't think it's healthy to there's some friendships that will never die. And that's just true. It's just there. Whether you even talk to those people or work on it or not.
I'm fortunate.
I have friends who live across the country that I'm best friends with, and I don't ever see. I mean, that's true of like family as well. But you grow and you change, and there's nothing that you can do about it. It's truly just a part of life and what life is. So, not to diminish the very true, real fact that it is heartbreaking, because most chapters when it comes to relationships are ones that you don't really want to end.
Right.
But all chapters, good or bad, if you are continuing to read a book, they are going to end, and that's just how it goes. And it's not exciting for the next chapter to sound exactly like the previous chapter. It just isn't.
But I really like what you said to our pen pal here, is that, one, your friend is sort of in the shiny new toy phase, maybe of a relationship, which could last years, whatever.
Could
that
be marriage.
person's
Could
taking
be
up more.
eternity. Could
That
be
person's
eternity.
taking up more real
Could be
estate
eternity.
in their schedule and in their heart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the other thing, like you said, the moving out, the separating, because the one thing I guarantee you don't do right now in regards to your friend Sophia is miss them. Right. I'm not saying you will, but maybe in 2 or 3 months you're like, I haven't fucking seen.
Yes.
And you might be like, oh, this is where this friendship lives.
Yeah.
I still love them. I still miss them. And fuck, I want to hang out.
Yeah.
And it might, obviously it's going to be way more infrequent, but
it's,
and that'll be its own evolution.
It's the letting, you got to let the bird go, or whatever the phrase is. And if it comes back, then it comes back. Like, let the thing go. And if it comes back, that is true, because, there's a world where you go, we're not on the same page right now. It doesn't mean that in 5+ years, you then suddenly might be on the same page better than you've ever been, where you're like, we've now lived some life and learned some lessons and changed, and now we've actually come back together. This is possible. Mm-hmm. Also, this is possible. Mm-hmm. And then way back. It's like, you can't predict it.
Do you think about it in Greenville? Because for my mom, she's had these like really close friendships.
Yeah.
And then they won't, like, I'll be like, whatever happened to so-and-so? I'm like, oh, she's around. And it's so crazy to me because I'm like, you're in Rochelle.
Yeah.
You guys still see each other,
Cross
run into
paths.
You just stopped hanging out.
It's also
But
just
it just happens, and they still really like each other. But whether it's grandkids or other kids getting married or things in their own life and stuff like that. But I'm like, it's weirder. It makes more sense thinking about me, and maybe it's because of LA and such a transient like careers that we have. Yeah. But when I think about my mom, and I'm like, yeah, but I can see her house.
Yeah.
Over there. Why'd you guys stop hanging out?
I feel like Rochelle is a better example. Like, Greenville is still a big city, but still socially, it's very spiderweb-ish in the sense that you're gonna cross.
Yeah.
But I've often wondered it, because obviously I don't live there, but I have a lot of friends who are still there, and I couldn't tell you what it must be like if a relationship changes. I don't know if that's House of Cards. I don't know if that affects other things where we won't necessarily experience it so much out here, because it isn't the same. There are just so many splinters of how you know people. And then a lot of us, yes, a lot of friendships in stand-up comedy, but none of them go as far as a lot of those hometown relationships where you're like, we grew up together.
Yeah.
We don't have that out here.
Right.
So you almost have like, you're like, oh, the return is good, but it's minimal because the investment is minimal.
Right.
Whereas if I lived in Greenville, let's say I moved back there, I'm curious what some of my relationships might be like based on who I am now and today, and how my perception of life and my perception of
someone
how things
you grew up with
should be,
that you were friends with every week at the Little League fields.
Yeah.
And you're like, but we're not buddies anymore.
But I mean, also
and
imagine,
right there.
Imagine that, and this is true of a lot of people around the country, but, South Carolina is a red state. Greenville is becoming, I think, more blue as more and more people move there. It's becoming a little bit more liberal. I don't fully know that to be the truth, but I think it's probably the truth. But imagine a world where you even just practically go, I think Trump stole those documents and I think he should be indicted. And then someone being like, I don't know you anymore. And you're like, oh, all right. But that might be less of an issue in LA, where someone's like, all right, well, what do I'm not thinking or talking about those things. I mean, there's, I don't know why I'm taking it down a political road, but that tends to separate some people.
Yes.
But I think maybe in LA, that has a different repercussion socially than maybe in your hometown with everyone you grew up with, where out here in LA, maybe you would take more of a black sheep approach to your opinion on a thing. Mm-hmm. But in your hometown, you might not, because this is a commitment to here, and I've known these people for so long, and all these people know a lot about me, and I know a lot about them. There is a world where in that sort of dynamic, you might go with the crowd a little bit more. That's not everybody. That's obviously just an example. But in Rochelle, there's also that world where you...
What, am I going to fight with everybody?
Yeah.
I'm going to fight with everybody in the grocery store every day?
Yeah.
I'll just have my opinions. If they don't ask me about it, I'm not talking about it. I don't want to hear theirs. Let's just cheer on these kids.
Little things change.
Yeah.
You go through a divorce and you can't shut up about it. That might be like, I don't really talk to Daniel anymore. But what about in 5 years, you've done the work, and now I'm like, he's back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's that with the relationships.
Yes.
It's almost feels like infinite possibilities. I would say, yes, right now, today, it does feel this certain way. And I'm not here to say that will ever go away because I don't know all of the circumstances of this. I would say my assumption, based on this, is that how it feels now is not going to be forever. And also, instead of seeing tragedy in these kind of moments, see the beauty in these kind of moments, because no matter what, these moments occur, and it really is, you said it in this letter, maybe I didn't do enough to maintain the friendship. You're going into your next relationships with other friends and whoever, knowing that relationships require that. So you're learning a lesson, and you might learn that lesson in your next friendship. And because you learn how to do it well, it might bring you right back to this one. And you realize, oh, we're just not good roommates.
Yeah. The living together ran its course.
It ran its course. And there's just natural endings to things. It's not, it's not maybe long game so sad. You know, that's my take.
My last thing is I would just say you hold on to the people who in positive ways support you, believe in you, and are there for you. And even then understand that life can get in the way. And you let go. This is so easy, but obviously you let go of anybody that facilitates negative things in your life or brings negative things into your life.
And that was Corey Feldman from Stand By Me that said that, I think. Sophia, we wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Scovel.
And Daniel Scovel.
And we're back. Plugs and hugs and
drugs.
slugs and drugs. RoryScovel.com.
Have you done drugs this summer?
Those are all my dates. No, I mean, when is what?
Well,
you know
when
what I mean?
what
I'm
is,
on drugs right now, and it's
when
2017.
What is your boy's about to. Oh, I haven't even told you. I don't think
you've told me. Anyways, RoryScovel.com. Physical season 3. I'm gonna have the same plugs for a while,
it's
guys.
great.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
But get on there. Go buy tickets to my tour. I need you so badly.
Me? Well, I guess it's about a month old now, but who knows? Maybe you can listen to this in the future. I hope you saw me on stage with Amy Mann at the Newport Folk Festival. That was awesome, playing the tambourine. And thanks to everybody who's going to come onto that and did. That's what I hadn't told you about.
Oh.
And then we're still taking applications for what do we name the bird?
Yep.
And everything else is at danielvankirk.com, including my special, an album recording at 11/11, November 11th. And
November 11th.
I think my battery started to die.
I saw that.
And that's at the Lincoln
It's
Lodge.
blinking.
Daniel
You're
Van
blinking right now.
.com. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. High Plains, Yuck Fest, that's September, then October, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. If you come out to a show, bring a postcard or bring a Dumb People Town headline.
Yes.
Because I'm going to play the game, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Let's grab these letters right here and read them.
I like that.
All right.
Dear Pen Pals,
Oh,
I like watching documentaries. I like it, but I'm afraid someone listening is like, what are they fucking saying? They already wonder, is.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Meow. Okay. Dear Pen Pals, I like watching documentaries, reading books, brag, and listening to podcasts, brag, about history. Hardcore History's World War I series was like a gateway drug to being a war guy. World, civil, you name it, I wanted to know about it. Did I then go down giant-sized rabbit holes on city-destroying hurricanes, genocide of native peoples, enslavement, and post-Reconstruction? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, French Revolution and Neapolitanic Wars?
Napoleonic.
Damn it. Fuck yeah. Corpse. Do I dabble in true crime and serial killers? You bet. Some think
This feels like a infomercial.
I know. Some think it's odd to be intrigued by grim stuff. I get that. It's a downer. But I can't help but be drawn into stories about people entering the abyss and seeing how that abyss can manifest itself so many crazy, terrifying ways. I think it gives you courage, too, knowing that whatever you're facing, it's not insert cataclysm here or cataclysmic event here. So, thoughts on societal breakdowns. How about people who are way extreme on this stuff and into survivalist stuff? That's like a whole other level I can't get on board with. But sometimes I'm like, should I? If you want to just name some historical figures you like, go for it. Love you guys. Thanks for reading my letter. Mike, P.S. If you could go back in time and eat at an establishment or gathering, where would it be?
Do you think they had good food at
The Coliseum?
the Last Supper?
Yeah.
Melissa's face.
Well, I don't know if I'm...
What
I
do you
don't
think they say? Hors d'oeuvres?
It's fish and bread and vegetables
was
and fruit.
so fresh.
So it's probably everything.
Great
fruit.
fruit.
At the
Everything
Last
would be.
Supper.
Do you think they're just
I don't
having
think
they're
I
having
can't
the challah,
imagine
right?
anything was
Are
seasoned
they having
well.
the challah?
They might be having challah.
So fucking good.
So good.
Do you think
Challah
challah
French
was the
toast.
same then as it is now, or is
Yeah.
it supposed to be because that's the gig?
I don't know.
Oh.
And do you think they broke it in the order? People don't think about this. That was it was Passover, right? It was a Jewish dinner. It was.
Oh, I don't know that.
It was.
Wait, did that
Was it a
start?
Passover?
Did
What's your
that
Friday
start
night
because
dinner?
of this
Like
event?
the Shabbat?
Yes.
Did that start because of this event?
What?
The crucifixion.
No.
This is
No.
Jesus' Last Supper.
So Jews are like, yeah, let's party.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Just saying. Somebody once, when I was losing my religion in the corner, somebody
yeah.
was like,
REM sleep.
well, if Jesus actually does come back, he's going to a synagogue. And I was like,
Yeah.
he would show up and be like, what's this
Yeah.
former basketball arena? That's where we praise you, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you don't kind of go around and just do good things for people and tell them why
Nope,
you're doing
we
it?
go to a building and then we're
come
done.
here, God damn it.
And then
But
we're
don't tell
done
my
for a
wife I
week.
said that. What?
Then we're done for the week.
Right.
1 hour.
I don't know. Like my first thought, right, was Studio 54, but I don't think they served.
I don't think
food
they were doing
there.
That. Oh, nose candy. A little bit of nose candy.
Right. I had a friend.
Booger
I had a friend who went to college, and
White
he brought some
booger
of that
biscuit.
back, and I was like, "All right, I said this to him. I said, I'll smell it once.
Pills.
I
and
smelled
stuff.
it
That
for
could be a
4
meal.
years and lost my fam.
Lost it all. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know many food
I don't
gatherings.
think this is like a muser question.
I'm not
probably.
trying to be at the first Thanksgiving. I don't think it was as peaceful as people paint
I'd go
it
back
to
and eat
be.
at the Beacon in Rochelle, Illinois, which
All right.
recently came up or will come up on a future episode.
Yep.
Future.
Yep.
Next week's.
Yep.
Guys, don't know how we know. Don't worry about it.
I do wish I could go back and have a just started Little Caesars pizza and Crazy Bread. At least the Crazy Bread, because when
Crazy
Little
Bread-
Caesars first,
Crazy Bread came with the franchises, I think. I
Yeah.
don't think it was.
but I mean when Little Caesars first started, the Crazy Bread was so fucking good. I want to go back and find out if I still think that, because all of those chains, as they become quantity over quality,
They lose.
you lose. And so now Crazy Bread, you're like, it's okay. But then you're like, wait, is this what it tastes
Serious
like when I was a
question.
kid and it wasn't? It was always shitty? I don't think that's true. I think Little Caesars used to be more top shelf. Remember, it was 2 square pizzas on one thing. Yeah, pizza, which is someone saying piece of pizza. Pizza. And it's on a square thing. It was 2 pizzas, and you ripped the paper off. Obviously, that makes no sense for that to be a thing anymore.
Right.
But I think it was a different caliber of
So,
pizza than it is
genuine
now.
question.
Yes.
Do you think, you can answer as well on this, do you think if you go back to the 80s, the original standalone Jersey Mike's on the Jersey Shore, you think it's better than what you're getting served right now?
I'd love to know.
That I think is a totally. I mean,
Because they're slicing it right there.
right? Or did they improve? Have they improved over time? Did they like find their stride later on?
Love it.
I
That's
think
what I would
about
love to
that.
know.
You know, with Krispy Kreme, I remember when we got a Krispy Kreme in the Seattle area for the first time, and people were going nuts. And I don't care for donuts, but
So we gotta keep going.
so but
we have to keep going.
everyone was like they melt in your mouth.
Yeah.
They do,
And-
and I don't know why someone wouldn't love that.
And do they still?
Yes.
Like, but is
I think
it
if you get them hot at the gas
right,
station, they do.
But is it like as good as the first Krispy Kremes that came out?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Roar, you still with us? I had to push through, and you will too.
Pizza, pasta, donuts. Like, what the fuck are we doing? But I'm this level deflated. Yeah, no. Anyways, war.
You just say wish you will.
Yeah, no. Anyways, I guess I'd want to eat at the Noah's Ark.
So many food options. 2 of everything. Where somebody's like, "Hey, where are the?" You made a mistake. I ate both of them. That's the only 2 we had in the whole world.
Yeah. You ate, so we'll never have. Yeah, what did they eat that we'll never know about?
Right.
All the animals we currently have, those are the ones Noah and his family didn't eat.
So I love this letter because it spurns a thought in me that I want to direct towards you.
Go ahead.
And all of our pen pals.
Go ahead. War, do you like it or not?
Well, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. I also had a time where I was like really into Dan Carlin's hardcore history. Have you ever listened to the podcast?
No.
It is at times enthralling in how interesting it is. And then also at times almost like being in a lecture hall for college and you can take such an amazing nap.
Oh,
it's one
interesting.
person talk and he goes for hours
Good.
and
I actually
hours.
like both of those outcomes.
Yeah. And
I need both.
there was one episode called something like, I'm getting it wrong, but it was like the required ridiculousness of war, right? That like war causes people to behave in ways and governments to make decisions that in a normal world, in a normal scenario, you would never do this. You wouldn't even consider this, right?
Yeah.
And so he just talks about, and he's not saying one way or the other, but like that it got to a point where people were like, what if we just bomb Hiroshima? Like what do you mean? Like
Right.
the whole city, we bomb it all, right? And Nagasaki was the other one, correct? And
Right.
he talks about that is everyone was in war. You would never think, you have a hard time deciding what would ever even cause you to do that. But war creates these insane scenarios by which you are living and operating. And I think, listen, I recently talked about this movie. Saving Private Ryan is a phenomenal film, right? But it has that very Spielberg, no pun intended, lens to it. Mm-hmm. And a movie like Fury is an amazing film with the David Ayers, I think. One of them is like an amazing war film for everybody. And then the other one is an amazing war film that
bleak.
You're going to have to face what really is going on here.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch that?
Right, yeah.
Because I think it really, for a person who has no actual practical or real life experience, for me, it feels like it really captures the brutality of war and how people are living like this. You know, you would never break into some French people's home and decide you're going to have dinner.
Exactly.
But you're at war.
Yeah.
And so I have had times where it's just such an insane mindset for people to live in and like how they get to it. And I think that I can acknowledge how little I know or feel about it. But I think a problem with most of our society currently right now where we saw people like, well, when the war comes, we're going to go to... And you want to say to these people, and I have none, But you want to say to them, you have no idea what you're really talking about.
Yeah.
With war.
Or the darkness you're really advocating for.
And that's a great apocalypse now, too. The darkness.
You're also never considering the amount of innocent civilians that pay the price for this. And those civilians are also members of the military. The innocence is a part of both sides. And it's absolutely there's nothing positive about it. There isn't. I don't know. It's so frustrating because it's become such a part of our entire lives. Our entire lives have been war, an identity of war with our country. Truly, since
Cold
we were
War,
born.
the Desert Storm,
Desert
and then
Storm.
it feels like there was a couple years where everybody took a recess.
Yep.
And then we
During
manufactured
the
war
Clinton years.
in 2001.
Yeah.
But even in Clinton, it was Bosnia.
But then you're also finding out about other things that we do as a country because you're a teenager and you're like, oh, we're the bad guys. A lot of times we are doing this.
Yeah.
And then obviously 9/11 and then a war that just ended,
up.
but also the fucked up numbers of how many innocent Iraqi civilians who died in, I don't know, 1 million, and also how many lives are completely upended by this and destroyed. And there isn't like, well, the war's over now. It doesn't change anything. And it doesn't make anything better.
And then now the Ukraine war, and you have people being like, it's become like a meme war, right?
Yes.
And people will say, you see this old guy with like a gun, and he's like 85 years old, and the person who's experienced that, or maybe just somebody who really thinks about it, goes, well, yeah, he's at war. So what did he it's not really like, well, I don't care, I'm old, I'm going to go fight. Now, he could be that, but he also just might be like, this is my house.
Yeah.
I'm at war.
I have to.
I'm at war.
I have to.
Right.
I don't want to.
Right. War's at me.
And look at the amount of people in Ukraine that are like, yeah, I guess we're all going to jump in because what else are we supposed to do? Lose our lives and our country and our land and our way of life that was its own thing?
Did you see the new version of All Quiet on the Western Front?
No.
Well, I don't think I'm really giving anything away by saying that the war ends. And
well, that's a big.
There's an amazing part. Listen, did you see it? There's this, and by amazing I mean like where your brain is like, whoa, where the war is over, the treaty is signed.
Yeah.
And guys are just like, hey, you need a hand? 5 minutes earlier, they would have been like, I'm going to kill you.
Yes.
But now it's over. So it's
over.
Like so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
That it's like, well, I don't have to
And you
fight
go, we
anymore.
could have started at, can I give you a hand? Right. If we just could have talked, if leadership could have just
and that's the big deal.
Governed in a different way.
Crazy, like behind the scenes thing that's the B story that's happening.
Daniel and I we both have a 2-day class out in the woods on survivalist to start our training for this stuff.
We have to do it.
But I understand but sometimes I'm like, should I? When he's asking about the survivalist.
Yeah,
I think it's worth knowing. I think it's worth knowing because I think societal breakdowns are inevitable. I think we are potentially at the beginning of such a thing now. I mean,
but you're not hoarding, right?
I'm not hoarding. I'm probably not educating myself enough. I definitely think the majority of people, at least in America, I can't speak for the world, but it's probably more in the world, but at least in America, I would say the vast majority of people no longer have a concept of how to provide for themselves in basic human ways. Something I've talked about on stage before, but like those 4 kids where there was that plane crash. Do you know this recent story? Plane crash in the Amazon.
Okay.
2 adults and 4 kids.
Yeah.
2 adults died.
Yes.
4 kids, the oldest being a young girl who was 13 and the youngest being an 11-month-old baby. And then 2 other kids in between there. I think like 6 and like 9, something like that. Anyways, they are now in the jungle and the militaries are searching for them and they're scared of the military. Not only did these 4 kids survive, the military could not find them. They were hiding. They didn't know, they didn't trust the military that was looking for them. And it wasn't until the military showed up with a recording of their grandmother's voice saying, they will help you, don't hide from them. They then went off. And now we're talking, I think,
It was a
month?
Yeah.
A month of survival in
Something
the
like that,
Amazon. She was 13 and caring for an 11-month-old baby and the other 2 kids. She's in charge. I said on stage, that girl at least, but probably all 4 of these kids, but that girl at least is smarter as our species than everyone at all the Ivy League schools that you imagine, because that way of life is not natural to this planet. None of us understand the survival on this planet. That girl is smarter than all of us, and she's 13 because she understands how to survive on this planet in one of the most terrifying conditions I could imagine. The level of grief she's dealing with. Her mom just died on that plane. It wasn't her dad. They met her dad. Her dad was waiting on them. Yeah. So they've reunited. But her mom died on that plane crash, and the pilot, I assume. Yeah. And dealt with that, but also, 11-month-old baby. She fed the baby by the food, like making a leaf so that it has to funnel down smaller so that it's easier to get it into the baby's mouth that can't like suck on it or anything. Like created things out of nature to feed the baby and to keep everyone alive and quiet and calm and chill for 4 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
I would be dead within the hour because I'd just kill myself. But do you know what I mean?
Yes.
In saying that, when it comes to the societal breakdown, we as a whole are mostly not prepared. And I fear, and this is a total judgment call, this is someone judging books by their cover.
Okay.
I fear the people who are most prepared for the societal breakdown are not the people you want to be able to make it to the other side. Right. I think they might be evil, bad people. And their intentions are not Christ-like as their crosses would have you believe.
Sure. Well, we gotta go take our fucking trip, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna. Once everything starts breaking down.
It's too late.
Hey,
we're here for the camp thing. They're like, hey, man, we're trying to live here. Like, yeah, that's what we're here for.
Well, now you're our prisoners because this isn't the camp. Now it's real life. Like, oh my God, Daniel, I think this is the camp.
Good, I'm here to learn.
We are prisoners thinking we're in a simulated thing.
Yeah. This is so, you're like,
I think I'm learning a lot because honestly, I like that they're making us do it.
When that guy beat you with a can of beans, I was like, this feels real.
And then you somehow overcame him. I was like, good for Daniel.
Oh, man.
No, but seriously, I am eternally the guy on the stairwell watching my war partner, I don't know, my fellow soldier getting stabbed in the room, like Adam Goldberg. I'm the guy on the steps going, I should stay out of this. This is them.
Or you're not, though.
I'm not.
I know you're not.
Mike, this is great. I didn't read it,
I would
but
just
I gotta
say
say this is a great
all
letter.
this stuff can be so interesting.
It's so bizarre when you get a new topic like this.
I'm more interested in hearing about how someone who maybe was a serial killer got caught versus just hearing about what they did.
Entertainment-wise,
I want to hear the like, this is how we were trying to stop him, and this is how we did, versus the like, and then I killed this person. Like, I'm not interested in that.
The Rex Howerman.
But I would say
thing
everything you put in, right? Every cloud you stand under affects the amount of sunshine you get. And so if you want to do all these things, my only thing is like you got to open it up sometimes too. Like go watch the old classic Care Bear movie. Watch something fun. Put on a little bit of Mr. Rogers and see what a minute feels like. Like balance it out. This stuff can be very interesting, but it also is very
heavy.
Dark.
Yeah,
and you don't want to be in that for too long.
That was also Corey Feldman from Stand By Me said all that.
I love it. Okay, thanks so much, Mike. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Scovel and Kirk.
And Kirk and Scovel.
Okay.
poke out. Oh, fuck.